Welcome back to Make Me a Fan. I'm the Jag.
I'm Pete.
And today is Classic Day.
Yes.
It's time for a classic match. And you know whose choice it is this time? Me. And so I started thinking, because I didn't have one. Like, the last time I thought about it for weeks. And this time I was like, man, what can I give the encyclopedia? What can I tweak? What can I surprise you with? And so I came up with nothing, to be honest. I mean,
okay.
nothing.
It's tough. I mean, imagine, you're a home run hitter.
Yeah.
And you kind of don't want to smoke the pitcher.
Yeah, and I'm going, okay, wait a second. Let me see what else. So, if you remember a few months ago, we did a thing called the Underrated Extravaganza.
Oh, absolutely. That? Yes, sir.
And there was a list of matches that were underrated, and I thought, I wish I had a list like that. And so I Googled underrated matches.
Yes.
And the first Google result was, I think, a Bleacher Report article.
Oh, here we go. They always have great stuff.
And as I'm scrolling through, a certain match caught my eye. So, Encyclopedia.
Yes, sir.
Today's classic match.
Yes.
Is from Raw 2007.
Okay.
April 23rd, to be exact.
Okay.
And it's between two of the greatest wrestlers of all time. We've got John Cena on one hand.
I knew it was going to be Big Match John, because this has to be Big Match John stuff that we're talking about here.
Versus Shawn Michaels.
Woo!
I've never seen this match. It's 2007. I wasn't watching wrestling in 2007.
I wasn't either, but this looks like a hell of a match.
Apparently, this is a great match. Everybody in the comments were like, oh yeah, this one's fire. It's posted not on YouTube, because WWE polices YouTube. But it's
like a mug.
It's posted on like Daily Motion and stuff, and a lot of the comments are, holy crap, this match is fantastic. It's 42 minutes long, Encyclopedia.
I'm in. I am
42 minutes! Of wrestling on Raw? When's the last time you had 40 minutes of wrestling on Raw?
This is what ended up leading to those super shows that went to 3 hours.
Yeah.
And then USA said they loved those super shows so much, that's what got them the third hour. So these are the kinds of matches that said, hey, we can do long matches.
But if you're gonna do the long show, you gotta have long matches, good matches that people care about.
Yes.
Not 2-hour talking segments between Nia Jax and some dude in the back.
Or, well, that's Pat. He's awesome. But
Pat Buck, right?
Yeah, Big Pat Buck.
Not hating on Pat Buck.
No.
But he ain't a wrestler.
Runs Creative Pro with Brian Myers.
Okay, work. It's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a gift and a curse. But if this was the precursor to the 3-hour Raw, forgive me, because I think we're gonna celebrate.
Oh, I think we are.
All right. So on one hand,
bottles.
Yes. So open up a tab. Actually, I'm gonna put a link in the description. I'm gonna put a link in the first comment. Of course, you're gonna watch this on the WWE Network. Unless you're too freaking cheap, you can find it on Daily Motion, but the quality's not the same. But here's the deal, people. This is on Raw, April 23rd, 2007. Apparently, these guys wrestled each other quite a few times. Because if you go to the WWE Network and you type in John Cena versus Shawn Michaels, there were like 3 matches before this one. But click on the link, and it's going to open up a new tab, and watch this 42-minute sucker on the WWE Network, because the Encyclopedia is going to press play when?
Right about now.
Encyclopedia.
Yes, sir.
What's the #1 rule of pro wrestling?
There's a lot of them, but I believe #1 tenet is give the fans what they want.
You damn right! We gotta give the fans what they want, and this match did exactly that. Love him or hate him, John Cena is the freaking man.
Of course he is.
That people hate on John Cena like he's not good. I don't care if you like John Cena or you hate John Cena. You're a fan of John Cena. We've talked about this before.
100%.
Now, John Cena, yes, of course, he's the man of 5 moves of doom, and he's the guy that's been shoved down your throat, and yada, yada, yada. He's for the Make-A-Wish kids, blah, blah, blah.
Fruity Pebbles, all that.
Yeah, the voice of the elephant on the pistachio commercial, whatever. John Cena has you. John Cena owns your soul. The reason why I say that is because, #1, you've probably watched at least 20 John Cena matches.
Of course.
You've probably watched John Cena in a movie.
Probably.
You have booed him. You have cheered him. And even when you booed him, that's probably what he wants, and that's what you were saying earlier.
Yes, sir, absolutely. The other analogy that I was thinking of while we were watching it is, it's kind of like the Howard Stern effect. Especially like when he was at NBC. It's like, oh, we hate him. Well, those people listen twice as long as the people that like him, because guess what? He owned them. And
Yep.
that's exactly the point when John Cena's on this upward trajectory of, we heard it. There was a little bit of booing with a lot of applause.
Yeah.
But as time goes on, that curve goes up, and guess what? John Cena's going all the way to the bank.
And in the high spots, in the big spots in this match, the crowd is gonzo crazy.
Oh, absolutely.
The
They're
crowd
hanging off
is
the rafters.
Yes. And that's because of the power of Cena and Shawn Michaels. We'll get back to Shawn in just a minute. But think about this for a second. John Cena wanted to go heel. He said that before. He didn't want to be the babyface, Fruity Pebbles guy. He wanted to be heel. Vince wouldn't let him. So let's put this in perspective for the people who maybe aren't as smart as we are at home.
Sure.
He wanted to be booed, and you know what you did? You booed him. At the same time, Vince wanted him to be cheered, so he could keep selling merch and keep going on Regis and Kelly and God knows what else, okay?
Everything.
And you know what your kids did? They cheered him. John Cena had the best of both worlds. John Cena owns your ass. Just face it. He had you and he did everything he wanted because he is John Cena. The man learned Chinese so they can sell more pay-per-view in China. John Cena is the man. Say what you want. When I meet John Cena, because I will.
Oh, yeah.
And because he's watching, because he's a fan.
Hi, John.
John Cena's getting the Mega Powers handshake because he is prolific and gifted. And whether you love him or hate him, you're giving him exactly what he wants.
Best of both worlds.
Who
says you can't eat on both sides of the mouth?
You damn right. You damn right. So if you hate John Cena, whatever, don't care. This match is great. It's long. It's a long match. 42 minutes.
Damn good.
Yes. And you know why I think it's so good?
Why is that?
Shawn Michaels.
Of course it is.
Shawn Michaels is a master of psychology. There's almost, we said this earlier when we were watching it, there's like two Shawn Michaelses, right? There's the pre-Jesus, pre-injury, pre-lost my smile Shawn Michaels that rubbed just about everybody wrong. The guy who didn't want to work with Vader. The guy who hated Bret Hart. The guy who
took his ball and went home.
Yeah, and then there's the guy who came back, little thinner hair, right? But he was putting people over.
Absolutely.
But the quality of the matches didn't suffer. The quality of the matches were just as good, if not freaking better.
Because he was working with them and helped put them over, and by putting Cena over, by putting Batista over, by putting all these other guys over, guess what?
Orton, everybody. Now, what I didn't realize when I Googled this, because we saw the intro, I Googled this, is that this happened like 3 weeks after WrestleMania. This was April 23rd of 2007. I forget which WrestleMania that is.
That was WrestleMania 23.
23, okay.
In Detroit.
And so, Cena had beaten HBK for the championship. And this is a rematch, a non-title match, just to see who the better man is. That's good booking.
100%, because the stakes that are online are even more than a title.
Yeah.
I beat you.
Yeah.
I beat you in the middle of the ring.
Even before the match started, John Cena's backstage and he says to HBK, and Cena looking like he's playing the heel, right? He's like, hey, I know you earned a lot of people's respect. You had a hell of a match, but you didn't get this. You didn't get this. And he's saying the title.
And then he talks about that everybody has gimmicks except for he's just John Cena.
Yep.
There is no gimmick. He is the gimmick.
Yeah, and it was great. And
which is the best part. The gimmick of him being is the gimmick, which just again, full circle.
Full circle. And it set the table for an amazing match, a 42-minute match. And HBK is one of the best sellers in the business.
For sure.
And he sold his ass off in this one. He even sold that craptastic STF. and it was just great. And the spots were well timed. I just watched the match.
Of course. And like we said, to wrap it up, he gave them what they wanted, not once, but twice.
You damn right. And I mean, if you haven't seen this, spoiler alert, Shawn Michaels wins. And it's a great victory, and you can see the crowd just go unglued. I wish Raw still had matches like this.
I do
This
too.
was fantastic. But anyway,
that's another topic for another time.
that is another topic for another time. All right, so anything else you want to add?
No, sir.
Great match, great people, and if I ever meet Shawn Michaels, you getting this, buddy. That's the truth. All right, so thanks for watching this episode of Make Me a Fan Classic. All right, hit that subscribe button down below, ring the bell so you never miss an episode. Make sure you follow us at Make Me a Fan 316 on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter. And I think we will see you tomorrow.